streaming has started. So welcome to all Samagra Shiksha and Siddipet Vidya Mitra YouTube channel. Now over to Vinod sir and Supriya madam.
Vinod sir, should I start?
Madam, yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Andariki namaskaramu. Welcome to another exciting session of PACE program, Samagra Shiksha Siddipet. And on behalf of District Education Office, District Collectorate Siddipet, welcoming you all to the session 9 of PACE program. And I also extend my welcome to the Mandal Education Officers, Mandal Nodal Officers, Complex Headmasters, Principals of Model Schools, and Special Officers of KGBVs, and all the teachers too, to the program of PACE Session 9. And let us also rewind the previous session by Mr. Praveen on cyber safety and security. This session was very informative and it actually has updated us. ఈ సెషన్ ద్వారా అందరం కూడా చాలా విషయాలను తెలుసుకోగలిగాము, చాలా విషయాల లోపల అప్డేట్ కాగలిగామని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను. And I also feel today's session is going to be very interesting and informative too in the same manner. And on behalf of our District Education Office and District Collectorate Siddipet, I welcome our speaker for today, Mr. Nitin Desai garu. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you on the program today. And
thank
Nitin
you.
Desai garu, CEO of Navam Innovation Foundation, Karnataka Vishwavidyalayamlo Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering ni పూర్తి చేశారు. And Harvard Business School Executive Education లో వ్యూహాత్మక లాభాపేక్ష లేని కార్యక్రమాలను నిర్వహిస్తున్నారు. He was heading 170 Creativity Lab near Bangalore at Agastya. And he has also held very senior positions in Agastya International Foundation. He comes with more than 2 decades of experience in the education and the development sector too. And today's topic of the PACE program is Curiosity, Creativity, and Confidence, the Global Innovative Prospects by Mr. Nitin Desai. నితిన్ దేశాయ్ గారు నవన్ ఇన్నోవేషన్ ఫౌండేషన్ యొక్క సిఇఓగా అన్ని వయసుల అభ్యాసకులలో ఉత్సుకతను మరియు ఆవిష్కరణలను ప్రేరేపించే కార్యక్రమాలకు నాయకత్వం వహిస్తున్నారు. నవం అనేది 2021లో స్థాపించబడినటువంటి సెక్షన్ 8 సంస్థ. దీని ద్వారా ఆర్థికంగా వెనుకబడిన పాఠశాల పిల్లలు మరియు ఉపాధ్యాయుల కోసం సైన్స్ విద్యను ప్రోత్సహిస్తూ ఉన్నారు. విద్యా వ్యాప్తి కోసము ఆగస్త్య ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఫౌండేషన్ తో భాగస్వాములయ్యారు వీరు. ఆగస్త్య ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఫౌండేషన్ లో జనరల్ మేనేజర్ గా నితిన్ దేశాయ్ గారు అనేక విద్యా కార్యక్రమాలను నిర్వహిస్తూ ఉన్నారు. అందరికీ నాణ్యమైన విద్యను అందించాలనేదే వీరి యొక్క లక్ష్యం. And I once again extend the district education and the district collectorates. On behalf of them, I extend my welcome to you, sir. And we welcome you on board, sir. Thank you so much for being here, sir. And I hope all the audience will have an interesting session too. Over to Vinod, sir.
Thank you, madam. Sir, Nitin sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, Vinod ji.
Okay, sir.
So, okay. So, namaskaram andarki. Thank you for this opportunity. And I would like to extend my gratitude to the entire team of Siddipet, the education department and the collectorate office for organizing this very interesting program. Yeah. When I read the letter, it said PACE. I was really inspired by what actually PACE is. When I read the letter sent by DO Garu, from collectorate, from assistant collector sir, it said professional advancement and continuing education. I was really inspired by it. So there is a direction, there is a focus on continuous development. That's really very inspiring and moving. Yeah. That note we'll continue. our today's conversations. Yeah, you all have to, excuse me for not able to speak Telugu properly. I'm from the neighboring state, Karnataka. Telugu అర్థమవుతుందండి, but I'm not able to converse properly. Words would go here and there. So my apologies for not conversing in Telugu properly. So I'll use Hindi and English. I hope that is okay. Yeah. Yeah. The technical team, you want to spotlight, so that my screen is properly seen. Yeah. Done.
Yes, sir. Your screen is already spotlight.
Okay. Sorry, on my computer it was not visible properly. Yeah. My apologies.
Now
for that.
very clear,
Yeah.
sir, from this side.
Perfect. Yeah. So let's begin the session. All of us love, 2-3 things. One, of course, is food. Many of us love food. Yeah. Second, when we were children, we all used to like that, and now also some of us would like, that is play. Yeah. Third, interesting stories when we were children, we used to love is stories. Yeah. So we will start with short stories, to get into the topic and to draw the understandings from this story. Yeah. I hope I'm audible clearly.
Yeah,
Perfect.
clear, sir. Clear.
Thanks for confirming. Yeah. See, this incident happened in 1941. 1941, a gentleman called George Mestrel. Yeah. He was going with his dog in the forest. Yeah. Forest which was nearby his home. And as we go for walks, he went for a walk. When he came back from the walk, he saw something very interesting, which is all, connected or attached to his clothes and his dog's, body. So he was very curious. What is this, something which is clinging to his shirt, pant, and his dog's body? So he started observing those things very, very carefully. Yeah. And to his surprise, he noticed that this is something like a fasteners, which connects. Yeah. Which is connecting his shirt with that seed. So he became very curious and started his experiments. For the next 10 years, he was experimenting. He was experimenting to understand what is this all about. Yeah. And after 10 years, his experiment resulted into, something called as what we use every day in our life. Yeah. Which is, Velcro. Have you seen Velcros? Velcros are everywhere now. Whether it is your laptop, the cables to be strapped, yeah, your backpack, trousers, jerkins, you name anything, the Velcros are part of our lives now. Yeah, Velcros, I'm sure all of us have seen and used. Yeah. So it went on. This particular seed, I don't know what is it called as in Telugu. In English, it is called as burdock seeds. I just wanted to share the screen. Do you see my screen? Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. So this is the seed I'm talking about. This is, what is it called in Telugu? I'm not sure about it. Yeah. This seed which attaches to one's own, clothes, or anywhere you go, it clings. What is it called as in Telugu? I don't know. In English, it is called burdock.
తెలుగులో పల్లేరుకాయ. పల్లేరుకాయ.
పల్లేరు. Oh, okay.
పల్లేరు.
So, okay. Thanks. Yeah. So this particular seed became the inspiration for this Velcro, which was invented. Yeah. It was discovered through the observation, discovered through the process of being very curious that how does it work, right? So that is one of the stories. And after 10 years of work, this gentleman George, he patented this, and 1941 he observed, 1951 he came up with this first Velcro, which was loop and hook fasteners. It was called as initially, yeah. And then he developed the company, and 1954 he got the patent in US, in Switzerland, and 55 he got it in US, but it was not popular. People were not लोगों को वो समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था कि कैसे इसका इस्तेमाल करें यार, how do we use this. In 1969, when NASA used this in the astronauts dresses and other gadgets to be fixed, it became a super hit. People started understanding the use of this. Yeah. So that's one story. Second story is of two girl children. Yeah. Rani and Roja. These two children are from southern India. And, as you know, during the summers, it will be a lot of, sun, and it will be warm, it will be hot. So to escape the sun's heat, yeah, these two girls stood under a tree. Yeah. And one of the girls asked, can the different canopy give us the different cooling effect? Yeah. So the other girl said, yes, perhaps different canopy would give different cooling effects. Like you're standing under a neem tree, and if you stand under a, say, mango tree, will the cooling effect be different? So this question led to their research project, and they, with support of Agastya and others, went and understood and did this project and participated in. Intel used to conduct a program then called as IRIS program. It was a national research competition. They participated with best of the best schools in the country, and they won the award, competing with best schools. So that's the second story of observation. Third, a very, very small personal experience, what I want to share is my son, his name is Aditya. Yeah? He is homeschooled. Yeah, till the age of 9.5, he did not go to school at all. Yeah? We were in Agastya's campus. It's a 172-acre campus, and I used to head that campus then. And he one day, and we were staying on the campus. So I came to my quarters, and one day he asked me to sit on a chair. Without knowing, I just went and sat. To my surprise, it started paining, and I just jumped out of the seat, the chair. I was really surprised what really is happening. Yeah. So this guy, Aditya, had put toothpicks on the chair. Yeah. So imagine toothpicks, and you don't know what is there. And he asked me to come and sit. I literally jumped from the seat, from the chair. I asked him, I was terribly angry. I asked him, what did you do and why did you do this? So as a 5-6-year-old child, he was not able to comprehend, not able to understand what's happening. Yeah. So there is a model on our campus. It is called as Bhishma's chair. Yeah. And this chair has got nails around 50 plus nails, and we ask people to sit on it, and it doesn't pain because the load distribution, etc. We talk about the scientific concept about, the load distribution, etc. So he had seen that Bhishma's chair, and he thought, if I put some sharp things spread on a chair, on a cushion, this won't pain. Yeah. But to his surprise, the experiment, what he wanted to do, failed. Yeah. So imagine if the experiment, he would have put some pins, it would have been very different case. I would have gone to hospital. As it was toothpick, and I could manage little, the harm. Yeah. But we had a conversation later. Actually, I wanted to beat him, but I didn't. But I asked him, why did you do this? His answer was, when we sit on the nails there, it doesn't pain. While you sat on the sticks, and it was paining, right? So all the children, irrespective of their age, the more younger they are, they are more into this kind of stuff, where they want to try out, when they want to, figure out things, etc. Right? So what do these three stories tell us? Yeah, these three stories tell us the power of observation, the power of curiosity, the power of experimentation, right? So James Mastrel, Velcro, Rani and Roja standing under a tree and asking questions, right? Which led to a project and which they won the prize. Yeah. And third one is, it's a child's play, right? There was no experimentation, but there was learning, what I could understand. And all children are trying out so many things because they are always in play, right? So when children are allowed to explore, to experiment, right, and to ask questions, there will be, a lot of elements which are happening, right, which opens up their mind, which opens up a new possibility, right? And if children are not allowed to experiment, explore, when I say experiment, it is not physics, chemistry, biology alone. It is what they see around them, what they associate, with things around them, with people around them, right? With what do they see in their villages, in their homes, in their neighborhoods, right? तो अपने घर के आसपास क्या देखते हैं, अपने स्कूलों में क्या देखते हैं? So experimentation is more of observation and trying out, yeah, with certain hypotheses, right? So once children are triggered in this whole process of curiosity, creativity, right, things change, right? And in one of the discussions with Brigadier Ganesh Ngaru, who heads Palle Srijana, he brought in a very interesting element. And this element was of being more compassionate, being more empathetic. He brought in the word of samvedana, right? If one is really having that compassion, right, and eyes to observe, not to look, but to observe, there is a sense of connection, right? And then there will be a lot of connect which happens. We have seen and we have read as Indian education system, right? There is a lot of connection between teacher and the student, right? In our own homes, yeah, there is a sense of bonding, there is a sense of connection, yeah, whether it is towards trees, plants, nature, so many animals around us, birds around us. So the younger the child is, it has got that connection, that samvedana. As we grow, things change, because perhaps, yeah, I might be wrong, we tend to look, in a very different direction, right? But children have that innocence. Children have that kind of deeper connection within. Yeah. So moving to the point I was talking about, the connection, right? The connection which brings in the samvedana element. Otherwise, things do not work, And if this is nurtured, this element of experimentation, this element of observation, this element of questioning, if it is nurtured, my dear friends, trust me, the food for thought for the innovation and design thinking, what we call, will pour in from all the sides. It is not in the classroom alone. Yeah, the learning happens anywhere, provided our antennas are open, right? So what we do at Agastya, I just want to touch upon certain basic elements what we do, which really trigger the elements of curiosity, creativity. Do you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My Lord.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm just trying to take out this bar from the screen. How do I do that? Do you see this black bar of Zoom? How do we take that out? Any idea? Or it is only seen to me? Do you see a black bar here down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can someone help me to take this out? How do we take this out?
Sir, it is not visible to the audience, sir. Please go ahead.
Oh, great. Thanks. Okay. So what we do at Agastya is to spark curiosity, nurture creativity, and instill confidence. That's what we do. Yeah, we were founded in 1999. And we are one of the largest world's hands-on science education program for economically disadvantaged school children and teachers. Yeah. So the idea is science is a medium to us, but the whole idea is to provide the cause and effect relationship, to give opportunity for the child to really touch, feel, and do things by herself. Yeah. So the critical opportunity gap in the education system, what today NEP is talking about, right? The experiential learning, questioning. Yeah. We started talking about that in 1999. And it was very difficult then to really understand and connect, right? So the opportunity gap, what we're talking about is what to think and rote learning to how to think and creative learning, right? So what we listen through our lecture, only 5% of it sticks to us versus 80% of what we experience. Yeah. So there is a huge shift, right? What we are talking about in this approach of learning, right? And the 21st century skills, which the World Economic Forum has pointed out, the orange and purple color elements, what you see, creativity, communication, collaboration, initiative, persistence, leadership, all these things we try to bring in through our interventions, right? So our mission is to create a world of creators, innovators, solution seekers, and leaders who are humane, anchored, and connected. Yeah. So that's the direction. So simply put, the mission, the mantra of the organization is to spread the experience of what we call it as aha and haha. Yeah. It is aha, and haha. So the is Ascharyan. In any Indian language, when you see something, out of the box, when you see something very different, right? There is a sense of element of wonder and excitement. And that we call it as the element. Once the element is triggered, the curiosity is triggered, there are a lot of questions in the learner. How does it happen? Why does it happen? Can we change? Can we tweak? So there is a lot of questions, and this is a very important phase of learning. Yeah. And that's the aha phase, where I figure out the solutions by myself. Yeah. So that's the very important phase of learning. And third, of course, is fun. That is aha, right? Where there is more fun, more joy, there is less fear, more confidence. Yeah. So the direction is the basic tenets, basic things for curiosity, creativity, and innovation is, can we bring in the spirit of questioning, spirit of aha and haha? Yeah. So that's what we are doing. This is a very interesting graph. As the age progresses, the questioning, you see where the green line, what, where we are. Yeah. The younger the child, right? If you remember your own children who were in the age group of, say, 3, 4, 5 years, or you would have seen your relatives' children, right? These young children would bug you with so much of questions. Why does it happen? ये क्यों ऐसा होता है? वैसे क्यों नहीं होता है? इसमें क्या है? हजार questions पूछेंगे, right? Because they want to explore. They want to know. So where does this element of knowing, element of curiosity go as the child progresses in his or her, age, as the child grows, right? So US is not any better. You see there. So the idea, what we are trying is, can we really bring in the element of, exploration, experimentation, wherein we connect, right? Experiential learning, where cause and effect relationship are seen, thereby the child really gets triggered into the aha and haha spirit. Yeah, that's what we are looking into. And through this, the fundamental thing for the innovation to happen is the behavioral shifts, right? Unless the the shift happens within, it doesn't get expressed outside, right? It is like confidence, right? Unless the person is confident, he or she will not be able to, come up and say, perhaps share her own idea, his own idea, or communicate, right? So there is something within all of us which gets expressed. So we are working at a very subtle level to bring in the behavioral shifts, right? First behavioral shift, what we want to bring in is from saying yes to asking why. Yeah. Second is from looking to observing. Third is from being passive to being exploring. Fourth is textbook bound to hands-on. Last is fear to confidence. Yeah, which leads to acceptance and leadership. Yeah. So there are many children who are talented, who are intelligent, who are curious. So can we, all of us together, create that space? I always consider ourselves as a 12th person in the team, whose job is to help the team, help the players. In what way? In terms of providing the bat, or providing the pad, or providing the water. Yeah. But the main players are you. You are creating the whole thing, the teachers here, HMs here, education department, all the officials. There's so many people who are putting their time and energy. right? So you are the main players who are bringing the change. Yeah. So we consider ourselves as a support system. Yeah. So what we are looking, I'll just quickly rush through because all these things I don't want to take, it will take a lot of time. Yeah. So those were certain basic things, what we call it as the fundamentals of curiosity, creativity, and the confidence what we are trying to bring in. Yeah. So far, any questions, any suggestion or any thought so far? Any questions on the YouTube as well? If they are put on the chat, you can take questions or any comments so far. Vinodji?
Sir, namaskaram, sir. A small
Yeah.
doubt.
Is there any comment or chat or message which is
Sir,
more?
sir, in graph to India and USA, why is the difference graph, sir?
There is a echo. Yeah. Why?
Sir, ఇప్పుడు మీరు చూపించిన గ్రాఫ్ లో
Ah,
ఇండియాకి యుఎస్సి కి డిఫరెన్స్ అనేది ఎందుకు వచ్చింది?
difference ఎందుకు వచ్చింది in terms of what? The number of years or graph. Yeah.
ఓకే.
See, there are many reasons, but it's a common pattern. Difference is not much, Sunday, if you see. But the point to be noted in this graph is, as the age progresses, the number of questions drops down. Yeah. So there are parameters, there are contextual, reasons as well. Perhaps if you go to some other countries which are not that, progressive or developed, say some of the African countries, right? So compared to them, India stands a better chance, right? So compared to us, perhaps US stands a little better chance, right? So there is a difference, right? There are many parameters. I don't know exactly what really makes the difference, right? Maybe the engagement with the children, the nutritional elements, right? Population, space for the play, etc. There are many factors, but that graph I showed to bring in a point, to drive a point that as the child's age progresses, the questioning decreases, right? Have you noticed that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in your own child or in your schools, right? So there is a sense of fear. I don't know why, what, but there is a sense of saying always yes, right? So we do not encourage questioning, right? For whatever reasons. So if questioning is encouraged, then there is a sense of confidence, which would lead to experimentation, which would lead to innovation, right? So, but how will questioning come? Questioning will come through observation, of being more aware about what is happening around. अगर पानी बह रहा है वहां पे, right? अगर मैं aware नहीं हूं, पानी तो बह रहा है, right? So nobody is observing. If somebody observe, means he or she has got a better chance to really ask the next phase. That is, क्यों पानी बह रहा है भाई? Why is water flowing? What are the reasons, right? That is the whole innovation and design thinking structured course what we are delivering in Telugu now, which is a Stanford University's program, which we have telecasted with SCRT's support and TSAT channel. Last year it was all aired, right? This year also we are planning to start it from July. So every Monday or so, the structured Stanford University's course in Telugu, 24 episodes, with the local Telugu speaking innovators coming and talking, will be aired. So, you can take advantage of that. Yeah. So thanks for that question. Any other question, comment?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
As age progresses, students may suppress their curiosity. Number one reason. Second reason, elders may suppress their curiosity. Third reason, they may reach to a wrong conclusion and they may not ask. And the fourth reason is that unless they have the proper exposure and proper, what should I say, proper exposure and observation, they don't ask the questions. अगर उसको कोई पूछने की आवश्यकता नहीं है तो वो नहीं पूछते. अगर उसके बड़े बड़े है, बुजुर्ग है, तुम ऐसा नहीं करना, वैसा नहीं करना. अब बच्चे को जो ग्राफ आप दिखाए उसमें उम्र 1 से 5 तक, the elders will allow the children, without any reason, even though they ask some silly questions also. That's why the graph might be like that. I think like that. मैं सही हूँ या नहीं हूँ? आप
Good observation. Good observation. Thanks for sharing your point.
That's what I observed. And during the 1 to 5 years, parents and teachers and society will allow the children.
Correct.
Whether the question is right or wrong. But afterwards, they restrict that. And as far as education concerned, as classroom concerned, teachers may not give the proper freedom or liberty to ask, because we have a syllabus, we have something, and we are fit into some framework. To run in our framework, पटरी पे उतर के पटरी पे जाने वाले गाड़ी को रोकने नहीं चाहते. पायलट क्या करते, लोकोमोटिव पायलट क्या करते, उसको चलने देते. अगर आप बार बार रुकने की कोशिश करें तो नहीं करो भाई, ऐसे वैसे नहीं करो, मैं चलना, उसके काम करने के लिए चले जाते.
That's the reason why, in India or any other developing countries, we will see in our further discussions that why this whole thing, allow nahi kar rahe hain. Jab छोटे हैं तो they ask a lot of questions, silly questions also, and everybody laughs, बच्चा पूछ रहा है, whatever. But as the child progresses, you rightly mentioned, the child perhaps, feels that he or she is suppressed or not given that much of space to ask questions. Yeah. And if the child asks the questions, then, अरे इतना नहीं आता है क्या? अरे इतना समझ में नहीं आता है क्या? So there is a sense of, what do we say? There is a sense of, bias. अरे इसको इतना नहीं आता है क्या? अरे बार बार पूछता है यार. So the children who ask questions are taken in a very different way, right? But if we take it in the right spirit, right? Innovations basically start with questions, with observation basically, right? And observations lead to questions. That's what we are talking about, the aha and haha spirit. The is when the child looks into something different, right? Ye kyun ho raha hai? Why is it happening? Can I change? Can I do something, right? Then the question leads to exploration, inquiry. The journey begins, right? And if the child is given that support, अरे तू चलो आगे, तुम चलो आगे, right? We are there. And if we don't know, we will find it together, right? If that kind of openness is there, then the learning becomes joyful, right? Now learning is becoming very difficult because everybody is looking at the mark sheet, and marks are important, right? But it is not the end, right? It is not just the end of everything. No. Yeah. So together, can we really bring in the change? Is the direction what we're looking at? Yeah? Somebody has put, yes, sir, I watched a few episodes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. This year also, we are coming up with something very interesting. And I'm very proud to say that the experiment, what we did in Telangana, is going to be soon replicated in your neighboring state and in the western state of India. Gujarat has approached us, we will be starting the innovation design thinking shows in Gujarati as well. Yeah. So it's all happened in Telangana. So thank you to all of you. Any other question, comments before we move on? Yeah. Any question from the YouTube chat? If someone can just take it up, we can take up comment or question. If no, then we'll move further.
Please move.
Yeah, thank you. So see, now let's change the gear and move into there is an organization called as World Intellectual Property Organization. It is called WIPO. Yeah. And what do these guys do? These guys work on, taking care of the patents, copyrights, trademarks, industrial designs, different plant variations. So there are some 8 to 10 aspects they look into, right? These guys come up with something called as Global Innovation Index. Yeah, it's a very interesting study. They have studied close to 132 economies of the world. Yeah, and they come up with the ranking. Yeah, so there are a lot of interesting insights what we can draw from this study. Yeah. So for example, I'm sure some of you who have gone through this index. Yeah. Can you guess where India stands in the Global Innovation Index? Yeah, you can Google and find out. But if you know, just type in. You can just type in or unmute and say whatever. Yeah. Can anyone type the Global Innovation Index ranking of India? Am I audible? Yeah. By this time, you would have Googled now. So you can type in.
No idea, sir.
No idea. Okay. Any guesses? 132 countries, the study is done. Any guess?
Maybe 40, sir.
Maybe 40. Okay. 40 when you have hit on dot. So either you know this or you Googled, whatever it is, 40 is the right answer. Last year we were 47, 46, right? This year we have moved to 40th rank, right? So we may be very curious that our neighbors, where are they standing? Pakistan stands at 87th. Yeah. So they were in some 90th, 99th position earlier. Now they moved on to 87th position. They are also quite doing good. In what sense, I don't know, but their ranking has improved. Yeah. So there are many economies like Russia. Any guesses? Russia, where is it standing? Google will tell you. But if you know, just type in. Russia, any guesses? Russia stands 47. Yeah.
Yes.
So there are many, China, you must be wondering, where are they? So China is at 11th position, right? Germany is at 8th position, right? So UK is at 4th. And Korea is at 6th. So there are many economies, right? And any guess on US? Yeah. Any guess?
Is it
Yeah.
10?
You are close by.
Oh. One more guess then?
Yeah, one more guess. maybe 12. Okay. Okay. So 9. Okay. There are a lot of answers pouring in. Wonderful. US is definitely not in number 1. Yeah. You must be wondering, right? It's US economy, global innovation, etc., etc. A lot of great companies, etc., are there, but they are not standing in the number 1 position. They were earlier at the number 3. Last year they moved to number 2. Yeah. So who stands in number 1? Any guesses?
Japan.
Fantastic. Any other answer?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Switzerland stands in the number 1 position. It is very, very surprising to see that Switzerland is standing in the number 1 position from the last 12 years. You know, it is not just once or twice. It is last 12 years. They are standing in the number 1 position in the Global Innovation Index. Yeah. So if it was once or twice, then perhaps some fluke or ऐसे आ गए भाई ठीक है. Yeah. But sorry. Hello. Yeah. So if it is 12 consecutive years, then there must be something what they are doing right. Right? It is something worth to be explored. Yeah. See, it so happened that Vietnam was going through a lot of malnutrition issues. They called so many experts, studies, etc., to be done. Yeah, that why these kids are malnourished. Yeah, how do we really, change this? So there were a lot of studies done, etc., etc., but things were not working out. Yeah, one of the researcher and his team, they noticed that a bunch of children in Vietnam are not malnourished. They stay in the same locality, they earn the same income, they have the same patch of farm land, everything is same. But this particular group of people, they were not, their children were not malnourished. And this was an interesting question the researchers asked themselves. What is happening? Why these set of children are not malnourished? Yeah. So they came to the conclusion and understanding. They started observing the pattern, their behavior, what do they do, what is the different things they do, So the mothers of these children, yeah, the mothers of these kids of a younger age children, so they used to feed the shrimps which were there in the field, rice growing field where water is there, a lot of water is there. So tiny shrimps they used to feed to these children. And the vegetables, the green part of the leafy vegetables, which most of the people used to throw away, right? For example, radish, right? So there is a green leafy stuff, right? People used to throw those things away. So these people used to feed those things to the children. Simple steps, right? So these kids were not malnourished. So the lesson to be learned is the solutions are there around us. The only basic element needed is to observe and ask fundamental question, why? Right? Why is this happening? That's the element of wonder and excitement. We call it as the trigger of curiosity. And begin the inquiry. The question to be asked is, are we experimenting enough in our lives? Right? As elders, we would say, "Arey, apna kaam to ho gaya bhai." Yeah, there is a degree, there is a job, there is a secured life. What to experiment? Huh? So the custodians of experimentation, yeah, is something we ourselves in our own lives. If we do not experiment, if we do not ask questions, if we are not curious, yeah, children observe us. It is not by telling that be curious, ask questions. No. How many questions we ask? How many experiments we are doing? So again, I'm repeating, experiments is not just physics, chemistry, biology experiments, my dear friends. Experiments are anything, whether it is with your own routine, whether it is with your well-being, your mindset, your happiness quotient, your energy levels, right? All of us know, but right, all of us know that junk foods are not good. Healthy food is very good. We know walking is very good. Yoga is very good, right? We know so many things. But when it comes to execution, we say, aaj nahi bhai, kal karenge, right? So there is a sense of postponing things, right? So there is a huge difference between people who achieve and people who do not achieve. It's about the mindset, right? So what Switzerland did is change in the mindset. That was the game changer, right? So what they did is strategically invest in schools and colleges and younger generation, and also people who are associated in education, in research, to bring in this element of curiosity, creativity, and innovation, right? It is not organizing competitions alone, but really encouraging experiential learning, which we, are trying to talk about, which the NEP is talking about, right? To bring in the structured intervention. Yeah. If you see the Olympic medals over the last couple of years, yeah, it is the medal number of medals are increasing or decreasing. India's number of medals are increasing or decreasing. Can anyone type in? Are the medal number of medals increasing or decreasing? Increasing. Exactly. Why? Because there is a focus, there is a attention, and there is an investment of not just money, of people, their energy, their time, their focus, right? Scouting the talent. Yeah. So there is a focus, and suddenly the graph is changing. Suddenly there are medals coming in, right? So if you see the investment, what is happening in education is changing. Yeah, somebody wrote passion. Exactly. Yeah. So this is an example of what pace, what Siddipet is doing, and what education system is trying to do. Otherwise, on a afternoon, summer afternoon, when you have holidays, school abhi khula nahi hai na, but still you all are connected here. Why? Because you're investing your time, you're investing your resources, you're investing your attention. What the name of this whole program is calling about? Continuing education, advancement and continuing education. Why? Yeah, to improve oneself so that we become the best version of our own selves, right? So hats off to all of you. Yeah, so wonderful work. So there is a strategic investment which is happening, and the result will be seen. The result will be seen, and it will take time. We need to have patience. We need to have perseverance. We need to have that focus. Otherwise, we will all, get diverted. So the key elements of innovation is, observation. It starts with observation. It starts with, questioning. Enduku, ela, why, all these things. Yeah. So we as, responsible citizens and parents and educators, it becomes our responsibility embody all these things and to live. ये हमारे जीवन का हिस्सा होना चाहिए, तभी बदलाव आएगा, my friends. Otherwise, हम लोग सिर्फ बोलते रह जाएंगे, right? Yeah. So I'm sure all of us who are committed, dedicated to bring in these changes are up for this. Yeah. So that's a fantastic thing. One more element I want to touch upon is, like we have Global Innovation Index, we have National Innovation Index as well. Yeah. So very, very happy and proud to say that Telangana stands in the second. In the entire country, Telangana stands second in the National Innovation Index. So this really needs a great round of applause to all of you and to the entire state for putting in a great amount of focus, great amount of attention on all these elements so that new things are tried out. Yeah. But can we move to the higher level? It is good. Can we go to great? Yeah. So how do we do it? What do we do? All those things are something what we as individuals need to look into. Yeah. Karnataka stands the first, then comes Haryana, then comes in the fourth position Maharashtra, then comes fifth Tamil Nadu. Yeah. So every community, every state, every department is trying, stretching to really innovate, to really try out something different, right? So today's younger generation, as all of you know, as all of us know, as educators, are going to lead and make the difference. So it becomes a great responsibility on all of us to really support and nurture this younger generation so that they get a great start, right? What 20 years ago we were struggling, today they need not, right? 20 years ago, we didn't have a cell phone. Today, everything is on the cell phone, whether it's technology, whether it is your email, anything you want to learn on the app, self-development, yoga, anything you want to learn about science, everything is available. So what makes the difference is, how do we use, how do we apply, yeah, and take or leverage these opportunities, right? It is like, if one is not aware, he or she will not be able to use the tool, right? It is once said that a person who was cutting trees, yeah, that was his job, and he was continuously cutting week after week, year after year, yeah, continuously going on, and he was very happy that I am very strong, I am cutting a lot of wood, and making it into small pieces. But as months passed, as weeks passed, he started observing that the number of logs what he used to cut started reducing. Yeah, he's putting more effort, he's putting more energy, but somehow his number of logs what he's cutting is reducing. So he becomes worried. He's worried, and he's asking what's going on. Yeah. So he goes to a mentor and asks, Master, I'm doing everything right, and my angle of cutting is very nice, I know how to cut, everything I know, but the number of logs I used to cut previously versus now is reduced. So the master laughs and says, my dear friend, everything what you're doing is right, but the tool what you're using, you are not sharpening it. So all of us know a lot of things, but are we investing time in sharpening our own tools, our own skills? Yeah, that is a game changer. That mindset is a game changer, which will take us to the stage of innovation, design thinking, and what we are today at the 40th position as a nation. Yeah, we will be seen, yeah, as one of the largest economies in the world. Yeah, will be seen in the top 5. Yeah, but who is going to do it? You and me can be a support. Children in your school are going to do it. Yeah, not only in Telangana, but everywhere. So it is a large responsibility on our shoulders that we as a system can we really handhold, nurture, and bring in the spirit of questioning, bring in the spirit of curiosity, creativity. Yeah, and it all is possible when you, me, everyone, on this call, and your colleagues, all of us are looking into making our own selves a better individual every day. Yeah, it is like this, my friends. If you want to run, say, 25 kilometers, yeah, marathon, yeah, can you run on a single day? आप डिसाइड करते हैं कि मुझे 25 किलोमीटर भागना है, तो आप पहले दिन 25 किलोमीटर भाग पाएंगे? No, not possible. You need to run for some time, then you need to walk. You need to run, walk, yeah, and then reach 25 kilometers day after day, har roz. Yeah, that's what is the spirit of building stamina. So we are in a marathon. Are we building our own stamina? Right? So we need a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, what we call in Agastya Navam as that we have to have the degree of BEE. Can anyone guess what is BEE? What is the degree of BEE? Can anyone type in? What is degree of BEE? Anybody? Electrical engineering? Yeah? Hello? Is anyone? I think I'm not able to see the chats. One new message. Experiment and explore. Okay, wonderful. Govardhan Garu. Yeah. Experiment and explore. Yeah, wonderful. Anybody else? Any other guesses? I'm trying to see the chat. Yeah. So it is Bachelor of Energy and Enthusiasm. Hands-on experiments. Okay. Mohammed sir. Hands-on experiments. Yeah. Thank you for your chat message. It is Bachelor of Energy and Enthusiasm. So this degree is not given in any university. This degree we ourselves have to earn. Yeah. This degree is what we need to earn by our own self-study. Yeah. So the higher this degree of BEE, yeah, the more you will be energetic, the more you will be enthusiastic, the more you will be able to contribute, the more you will be able to participate, the more you will be able to question, experiment, yeah, experiment on your own self, whether it is hours of sleep, food, reading, participating in whatever you are doing 100%. There's so many things, right? So the key is to be BEE. Yeah. Okay. So let me just end with one quick note. The basic elements of what we are talking about, all this. I'll just share my screen. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thanks for confirming. So what we're talking about is three fundamental things. Yeah. And these fundamental things are the skills, what we are calling it as, or three buckets, what we are calling it as: discovery, delivery, scaling, and replication. Yeah. So discovery skills are what have been in the last half an hour, 45 minutes or so touching upon is questioning, observing, experimenting, associating, and networking. Yeah, these are very, very important skills which fall under the bracket of discovery skills. Yeah, one example of we saw examples in the stories, whether it is Velcro, whether it is Rani and Roja's experiment. Yeah, we've seen people start asking questions, and which leads to action, which leads to experimentation. Yeah, there is a beautiful thing which happened when I'm talking about association. Macintosh, Macintosh was developed by Apple. It's one of the Apple's finest creations in initial days. Yeah, when Steve Jobs dropped out of college, yeah, so he was wondering, he was bored in the college, he was not really learning anything new, and he also had financial crunch perhaps, and he decided to drop out of the college. Yeah, so when he dropped out of the college, he became very much interested in one of the courses which the college was offering, and it was calligraphy. Calligraphy ante different fonts, different writing, this thing. Yeah, so he immersed himself into the whole learning of calligraphy, and he enjoyed that, and it was over. But he put himself 100% into it. When he was designing Macintosh, that was the first computer where different fonts were there in any laptop or any system, right? Today, whatever we see, different forms, Times Roman, yeah, different fonts, what we see is part of that association. When he was designing Macintosh systems, he drew the learnings from that calligraphy lessons. So there is a power of association, yeah, and power of networking. Networking not just with people, but also with ideas, also with your own surroundings. Yeah, so that is one of the powerful skills, what we are coining it as discovery skills. Yeah, then comes the delivery skills. Yeah, so the delivery skills are using the technology, whether in your leadership, are we really learning how to set the goals, right? Are we really working in teams, in collaborations? Are we really learning how to influence decision making, risk taking? So many elements are there. Yeah, so don't worry about all these skills. Just to understand that there are three different buckets, things will flow. When the student is ready, the master comes in. Yeah, when the student is ready, it is said in Taoism, yeah, that when the student is ready to learn, when he or she is hungry, the knowledge appears in whatever way it has to come. It can come in the form of the book, it can come in the form of a poem. It can come in the form of a friend, a teacher, a film, anything, provided we are open for learning. Yeah. So don't worry about all these things. Arey, mujhe ye sab nahi aata hai. Nobody is perfect. Things will come. Yeah. Then the next thing is change making, exponential thinking, scaling and replication. My dear friends, when we started Agastya, it was very, very difficult. We did not have money. We only had passion and madness, right? When we bought the land, 172 acres of land, we didn't have money to fence the land. Fence डालने तक के पैसे नहीं थे हमारे पास. It's all support of governments with CSRs and lot of well-wishers. Slowly, a second-hand van came in and we started working with children in villages. With 40 children and a second-hand van, we started. Today, we reach close to 2 million children every year. 20 lakh बच्चों के साथ काम हो रहा है हर साल in 23 states of India. So things will come if the intention is right and our preparations are adequate. Yeah. So discovery, delivery, and the third is more of a change making, exponential thinking, and scaling. Right. All these things will happen with one fundamental thing, which is joy of learning and learning to learn. This can happen at any age. It can happen at younger age, it can happen at middle age, it can happen at very senior ages. No age barrier. Am I learning something new every day? Am I really questioning every day something new? Am I observing something new? Otherwise, we all become stagnant. That responsibility is on all of us. It's a personal journey. ये आपका खुद का journey है, right? In this journey, people will support. For example, when AC Garu has thought, right? All education department, all of you have thought that this space platform is required. So you all have thought, right? So when you think, people will come, resources will come, you will take out time, but that is the direction you have set for yourself, right? So unless we set the direction for ourselves, right, things won't happen. And the direction setting happens when we become more and more clearer in terms of where we want to go. Then how we want to go will come. Yeah. For that, there are so many support, and we as an organization are always a support for the education department. We have consider ourselves as 12th person, as I mentioned earlier. You are the main players. We are here to support, to give you back, to give you water. Yeah. So whatever little we can do. So together, there is a huge possibility we can look into. Yeah. So the spirit of aha, and haha, curiosity, creativity, and innovation. Yeah. And the fundamental things to look into is to live those things. In English, it is called as being. In Kannada, it is called as iruvike. In Telugu, I don't know what it is called as. जिंदगी में ये सारे चीजों को ढाल के जीना, ये जीने का ढंग होना चाहिए मेरे फ्रेंड्स. अदरवाइज ये सिर्फ शब्द हो जाएंगे. And there is no power in just the words. With a small story, I will end. There was one parrot in the cage, yeah, and it used to say always swatantrata, swatantrata, swatantrata. And the king was looking for freedom, his own freedom from within. Yeah, he was free. He was king, so he was not under any foreign rule. He was free, but he was looking at the freedom, the inner freedom he was looking at. So he goes in search of peace, inner freedom, swatantrata, etc. So when he goes to this forest, he sees a small hut where this parrot is being hung in the cage. King is very tired, and he wants to really, take rest. While he starts to lie down, he hears a sound saying that Swatantrata, Swatantrata, Swatantrata. The king really feels very sad. What I am searching, this particular parrot is also searching the same thing. He goes very gently and opens the door of the cage, thinking that this parrot will fly and it will be free, it has got Swatantrata, etc. So he's very happily, he comes back and sleeps. Yeah. After some time, he hears the same sound. Swatantrata, Swatantrata, Swatantrata. King is really perplexed. क्या हो रहा है भाई? दरवाजा तो खोल दिया है केज का. The bird should fly. Maybe king thinks this bird doesn't understand. को कुछ दरवाजा दिख नहीं रहा है शायद. So he takes the bird and throws it out. And he feels so happy that यार इसको स्वतंत्रता मिल गया. So after some time, he hears the sound again. Swatantrata, Swatantrata, Swatantrata. So king becomes really confused and he goes and observes that the bird has come inside the cage, gate is open, it is holding on to the cage and saying repeatedly Swatantrata, Swatantrata. Yeah. So he goes to the owner of the house and asks, क्या तुम्हारे bird को कुछ problem है क्या? इसको कुछ दिमाग खुरा है क्या? What is the problem? Yeah. Is the bird gone mad? Yeah. So the owner of the house says, this bird, my dear king, doesn't understand the meaning of the word Swatantrata. It just knows the word Swatantrata. स्वतंत्रता का उसको अनुभव नहीं है, उसको सिर्फ शब्द मालूम है. Yeah. So, my dear friends, it is our own responsibility to really reflect into journey of our own lives and the journey of so many people whom we are responsible for. Are we really just giving the words, or are we really bringing the essence in our own lives and the change in thinking? Yeah? So all of us together can really bring this change. Yeah? Not just cling to the words, but bring in change in our own mindset, change in the way we see things, observe things, question, and let us move in the spirit of this direction of innovation. We are there as a support, and we'll be more than happy to really take this forward in whatever way and shape and form. Yeah. And let us live a life of aha and haha. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. I took 2 minutes more. My apologies. I should have ended it by 4:15. It is 4:17 now. Yeah. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your patient hearing. I once again congratulate the entire education system, entire education team in Siddipet and the collectorate office, especially AC Garu. I don't know if sir is here. Khan sir, if you're here, thank you for creating this whole platform. And thank you for giving an opportunity to engage and interact with the wonderful team here. Yeah. Dhanyavadam andarki, and thanks for patient hearing. Namaskaram. Any questions, any comments? We can take up the questions.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, this is Kranti. Shall I ask, sir?
Yes, madam. If you can come on the video, that's good. Otherwise, if you're not comfortable, it's all right. Yes, madam.
Sir, I will continue on audio, sir. Sir,
Yes, madam.
one idea, please. Sir, I'm a primary school teacher, sir. Sir,
Yes,
I want to introduce my students business skills and entrepreneurship skills, sir. How can I motivate them towards those practices?
Which class do you teach, madam?
Sir, I teach for 1 to 5, but my students are energetic towards art and craft and communication, interactive skills, very good at English skills. But I want to
Wonderful.
showcase their products and let them learn the business skills, banking, credit, debit, create some collaboration among students, 3 to 5 classes. How can I motivate them towards those things? Please share some ideas, sir.
See, I think children at that age are more exploring. As you rightly mentioned, they have energy and enthusiasm, right? So if we want to bring in everything at that age, yeah, it might be elders trying to bring in a lot of things, right? So
Yeah.
we need to understand and balance because their age is very tender. So we need to bring in very sensitive elements at that age instead of directly trying to bring in entrepreneurship, madam. In my view, a little experience, whatever I have got, because I have not sent my son to school till the age of 9.5. School ही नहीं गया वो. Yeah. Later on, he went to alternative school. But the point what I'm trying to bring in here, madam, is as teacher, am I really observing them and their energies? Because you told their art is very good, their language is very good, right? Now,
Sir.
if as an explorer, you can see, in my view, their homes. Where do they come from? What do they do? Is there anything where they engage into day in, day out? For example, milk, vegetables, something what they see every day, right? Like taking them to shops, right? Not first standard children, but maybe third, fourth, fifth, whatever. Yeah. And asking these children to interact. Whether shopkeepers in your village, in the school where you work, are they competent enough to come and speak to these children? I'm not sure. So the children needs exposure. Yeah. Exposure before they step into this world of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, you and me know. First, they need to understand what is the transaction happening. Once the transaction pattern is clear to them, it's all about pattern, madam. It's not about skill. Pattern. How this pattern is working, then they will pick up. Okay, milk is being, produced here. They come here, they sell here. That's a pattern. Vegetable, it grows here, it comes here, sells here. So there is a pattern. If they understand, then you are actually empowering them with the power of observation that these things are possible. Then as a project, if you take up something, whether it is their art, whether some growing vegetables and trying to harvest together, right? Or visiting some of the nearby farms. Yeah. So it is slowly, subtly bringing in. It's not explicitly telling that, okay, today we are going to learn business communication. No. But those tender children, younger children would observe you more. The way you are, the way your energy is, they relate to it. So if you start something in your own school, a small enterprise kind of thing for the children, by the children, right? They may pick up all this, in my view. Yeah. But try to expose the children to more and more people, who are competent enough to handle these tiny tots, right? So it can be a postman, it can be a grandmother, it can be a doctor, whoever it is, right? Or a village shop, right? So the more the children get exposed to different forms,
Yes,
different way of engagements,
Sir,
then the
rightly said, sir.
pattern will
They are
be,
tiny dots, sir.
connected.
Sir, they are tiny dots, but they prepared lot of greeting cards, clay models on their own, some models, of course, in the process,
Good.
teaching learning process. I mean,
Wonderful.
let their products be identified through transactions. They are valid financially. Okay, some as you suggested, I will try to practice them in slow learning process.
Yes.
Slowly, and they are
Because
tender. Really.
directly, directly bringing in the entrepreneurship, it's a vyavahara, it's a transaction. So they
I'll
need
make
to understand
small
the
parts.
fundamentals of these transactions, right? So they need to see all this. Maybe some of the parents of these children are engaged in businesses. We can call them to talk about their businesses.
Yeah.
How do they do? Yeah. So it can be a different way of learning. Say, for example, there are 20 kids in your class, and one of the kids' parent sells vegetables. I'm just taking a hypothetical case. And these children can visit the vegetable shop and see where does this person buy. Yeah, they need not to go to the mandi to buy, but they can understand. Yeah, and they can also sell something on one of the days in their own school. I think in schools we have that, right? The small mandi is set up one of the days. Yeah,
Recommend from a preparatory stage, I think. Yes, sir.
yeah, wonderful. Thanks for the question. Any other question, comments?
Sir, Nitin sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mohammed, sir. Namaste, sir. Good afternoon.
Sir, there is a wonderful session. Why? Because I know about the Agastya Foundation. Sir, I have two questions. Sir, number one, in our, I think the innovation, our position is a 40 out of 132. There is a, I am observing last 25 years being a science teacher. The political system or our government, governments are, they are want instant results. That is one of the biggest problem. Why? Because the learning process is not a instant results we are going to get. We have to invest. Then after 15 to 20 years, we are getting the back. What we did the invest, whether in right side or wrong. Number one, 5 years. Every 5 years, the policy makers are changing their education policies in their views. They are pretending their views unnecessarily and necessarily also. This is one of the biggest problem. Is it right way? How to invest in proper way to get right innovations to get in future? Number one question, sir. That is. Second one, the research methodology, content-based education. Now we are giving a grade means appreciation. Those people are get good marks. We are giving appreciations and pleasurization is going on. जो चोरी करके लिखना, कॉपी करके लिखने में ज्यादा लोग को ज्यादा मार्क्स आ रहे हैं, तो इससे इनोवेशंस डाउन पेमेंट पे है. तो मेरा सवाल यह है कि जो रिसर्च बेस्ड एजुकेशन जो होना चाहिए प्राइमरी लेवल में, जो आप तीन चीजें बताए, क्यूरियोसिटी एंड आई थिंक दैट इज वन ऑफ द स्टेपस्टोन ऑफ द इन्वेंशंस. बच्चों को जो चाहत होना चाहिए ये एजुकेशन में नहीं मिल रहा. तो फिर ये एजुकेशन सिस्टम में विच इज अभी बताए लास्ट 2 years 12 years to Switzerland is going to top position. That methodology, that practices, why we are not practicing in our India? Why? Because it's very little. 8 crores population is there in Switzerland. Our 140 crores is there. तो ये तो परसेंटेज बढ़ना चाहिए. तो ये क्यों ऐसे सिस्टम को अडॉप्ट नहीं करते? अडॉप्ट तो करना चाहिए.
Correct.
Sir, this is the I feel number one. Third one is the rote learning is going on still today. सर आप यहाँ पे नीट या IIT जो एग्जाम्स लिख रहे बच्चे हैं, तो आप ये एजुकेशन सिस्टम को जो अडॉप्ट करते हैं ना, दे आर नॉट सिलेक्शन दैट हाई प्रोफाइल इंस्टीट्यूशंस. They are also facing so many problems. There in those institutions also there is no innovations. So how to overcome this problem, especially in our upcoming India as a knowledge guru?
A lot of interesting observations you made and points what you raised. One is the political system. I think is something what you and me. I'm not competent to talk about that. Competent authority to talk about. Yeah. So country is going through its own cycle of changes, etc. So I'm not a competent authority to talk about the political system. Concerning the education system, what example I gave about Vietnam, if you remember, just a couple of minutes ago. Same situation, same houses. One is malnourished, one is not malnourished. Because the mother of that house is doing something different. Correct? Situation जो भी हो बाहर, right? I'm not saying situation, is a war situation, right? No, situation is up and down. But as a responsible being, what is that my 20 children or my 50 children or my 80 children, 100 children in the school are, getting into? It's a very difficult thing to do. I'm not saying it is easy. आपको क्या मालूम इतना भरना होता है, इतना करना होता है. I know there is lot of things. As in the education system, there are so many changes happening and so many expectations are there, right? But what I'm saying is, can we really bring in change in small way, in our own way? What is possible, right? You rightly pointed out the NEET and IIT and the preparations and cracking. There is a rush, mad rush. Yeah. See, what are we trying to build? Are we trying to build the person with more knowledge, with no understanding? Knowledge and understanding is oxymoron. वो knowledge अगर है तो understanding होना चाहिए, right? आज के डेट में क्या हो रहा है? People are learning how to crack the exam. Crack कर लिया भाई, हो गया, right? But is the real understanding happening? We don't know. So are we creating creative individual problem solvers, or are we just creating people who crack the exam, get into the job and go away? No, there are no jobs. Technology is developing in such a way that I wonder, now I read somewhere that there are schools which have come online schools. कोई school जाएगा ही नहीं, right? So the technology is really growing very fast. आज बैठे बैठे यहाँ पे आपको हार्वर्ड का डिग्री मिल जाएगा या IIT का डिग्री मिल जाएगा online, right? So are we preparing our kids to be really, humans who have got the samvedana, who can really relate to the pain? एक छोटा सा वीडियो है, आप गूगल में देखिए. टेस्ला के जो हमारे इलॉन मस्क हैं, उनको पूछा जाता है, you just Google Elon Musk's advice to his children on AI. उनको पूछा जाता है कि AI, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इतना ग्रो हो रहा है, आप अपने बच्चों को क्या एडवाइस देंगे? He is sitting on the top of the technology. He says all the things what the humans could do possibly, writing emails or designing this or designing that. Slowly AI, artificial intelligence, will be able to do it in a much faster and a much better way than what my children have to do. When he says my children, it is for all the children, right? He says, can we really find out or live life more meaningfully in such a way that whatever the action one does contributes something meaningfully for the growth of individual and also people around me or them, right? So are we bringing in those elements, or सिर्फ हम लोग फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री पढ़ा के भेज रहे हैं बच्चों को, भाई जाओ आगे फिर देखो अपने आप फिगर आउट करो, right? So there are two very, very important aspects of an educator, as you have read, right? It is one, the external content, right? External content, physics, chemistry, math, biology, ecology, this, that, yeah, that is one sphere. But the core is not that, because what physics you have taught today is changing. What math you are teaching is changing. So what you are developing is the core, right? And the core needs to be very strong. Core is not physics. Core is not math, right? Core is, can I make this individual more strong, more, with a lot of character, compassion, with lot of learn to learn, सीखने की कला, observation की कला. All these things become very, very individual drive, and that's the intent of education. But गलती से क्या हो रहा है, सिर्फ हम लोग फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, बायोलॉजी, हिंदी, तेलुगु में अटक गए हैं, right? That's the sad part of it. So what questions you are asking is very fundamental. इसको बहुत गहनता से देखने की जरूरत है. Thanks for bringing those elements and those points.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions, please? Yes, I think we can conclude the session.
Thank you so much for being so patient and listening and sharing your views. So I once again thank Khan sir and the education department of Siddipet for giving this opportunity. And thank you. We look forward to really interact and engage with all of you. Yeah, and let us do things together and move together, progress together. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And giving my vote of thanks on behalf of all the teaching fraternity of Siddipet district. I should say we actually had a lot of information from you, sir. It was quite interesting and inspiring too. And I hope all the teachers, we have taken it well. And as you say, let us grow together. And as the saying goes, life never stops teaching and life teaches us continuously. And your quotation here, which was quite apt, when the student is actually ready, the master comes in. And there was very pretty good information from your side. And I hope we all have taken it in. And as you said, we are investing our time in this hot summer too. So we will be able to see a better result very soon. And the key elements of innovation, and especially not to miss your BEE, the Bachelor of Energy and Enthusiasm, is quite interesting too. And the power of association, I should mention, about Steve Jobs and the font in Macintosh was quite interesting and information. And also about the Global Innovation Index and the National Innovation Index was quite informative and encouraging us. And thank you so much for this interesting session, sir. And thank you, everyone. And I also take the opportunity to thank our District Education Office and the District Collectorate for taking their time thinking about equipping us, updating us by providing with these kind of learning programs. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, madam. Shall I end the session?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. So the session is going to end.
Yep.